think it's time we have an open and honest discussion about what it is like to be a reseller, whether that is from an entry-level side hustle to a full-time business. We have learned so much over the last 8 years. I wanted to share with you today some of the hard truths about what it is actually like. And I want to go through a few different scenarios and talk to you a little bit about what I believe the future of reselling looks like in Australia and how I think you guys can win going into the future as well. So as you guys can see, I'm not in my normal location. I'm currently in Perth. I'm over here for a deal, and I'll talk a little bit about that in another video. And I've got a couple hours up my sleeve, so I thought I'd have a little bit of an unfiltered chat with you guys and talk a little bit about what I think is going to happen in the next couple of years and how you guys can kind of mitigate these risks and also grow your business as well. So the first thing I wanted to talk to you about is when you're starting a reselling business is you really need to understand what you're trying to build. Are you just trying to do a side hustle where you sell a couple items a week? Are you trying to go part-time where you need to replace some income? Or are you looking to replace a full-time income and do this full-on, head-on, and hit the ground running? So obviously with all these scenarios, you're gonna have different ways of approaching it. If you're doing a side hustle, you've got a little bit of an advantage because you have income coming in on top of your reselling business, which allows you to snowball and grow your eBay business a lot quicker than if you're taking money out of the business to pay yourself a wage. If you're looking to go part-time, you obviously need to be looking for things that are going to get you some quick returns so you can start getting some money, not only to reinvest into the business, but also to pay yourself a weekly wage. And I think as you grow in this business, you will learn the different types of items and things that are going to sell quicker and that are going to sit longer on the shelf. Is once you have worked out what you want to get out of eBay, you need to understand what eBay is trying to get out of you. They want to make sure that you are consistent, you are active on the platform, you are responding to your buyers, setting offers or accepting offers as much as possible, dealing with the returns, and shipping your items as you say you're going to ship them. If you have a 3-day handling time, you better make sure that you are shipping that item within 3 business days. Otherwise, you're going to get some defects on your account pretty quickly, and it doesn't take too many of those to create some serious issues on your account. If you flip that upside down and you look at the things that eBay don't want you to do, and this is always a good exercise because you can kind of reverse engineer it, they don't want you to be overestimating items. So if you find something and it has a flaw in it, don't list it as excellent, list it as fair. Make sure you describe items properly. Take really good quality photos. eBay don't want to see you not talking to buyers, not accepting returns. They want to make sure that you're providing the best service for your customer on their platform. I think the next thing after this is you need to understand what your local market has to offer you. Obviously, we all live in different places of Australia. It's such a vast country and we all have different opportunities. So you need to be looking at everything in your area. You need to check out if there's any flea markets, if there's any garage sales, what op shops are in the area. If you can potentially get in with some rag suppliers or something like that. There are multiple ways of sourcing different types of stock for eBay. In your area, there might be some unique ones that aren't in other areas. I've found in our area that we have reached out to multiple different types of companies and they have opened some pretty big doors for us that we would probably not necessarily think of initially. So check out if there's industry in your area, if there's clearance sales, if there's ways that you can help other people move stock, that is definitely going to help your business long term. On top of this, I think the next big point is building long-term relationships. And by doing that, you are going to provide yourself with long-term suppliers. Don't just go in there, expect to get one deal and win someone over, because it's going to take a long period of time to build up a reputation with these people. You need to be showing up early, spending money with these people, and really understanding what their life is like as well. Get to know your suppliers, understand what their family structure looks like. Ask them about their day. Ask them how things are going, because the more you can engage with each other, the better it's going to be for both of you. Because if you're able to take more stress off their hands, make them more money, and also be friendly with them, you're going to be a lot better off than someone that just walks in the door and starts demanding stock. Okay, my next point is this is not an easy job. To be able to show up every single day doing the same sort of things over and over again when the market is fluctuating, going up and down, there's times of years where sales are very quiet. Maintaining a cash flow and a positive attitude is very difficult at times, and you really need to be able to pivot. And what I mean by that is to have other sources of income, because you never know what's going to happen on eBay. Maybe you get a couple ads in a row, unfortunately, you need to get them removed, your sales slow down because eBay are trying to work out if you're a trusted seller. So we have implemented a few strategies into our business, and I think there's a few strategies that you guys can use as well. We've taken on Whatnot recently, and that's been a really great addition to our eBay business, but we've tried markets before. We've done some rent-a-racks in the past. I think there's many options. You can do some wholesale if you have access to stock that people are going to be interested in, but I think having multiple strings to your bow definitely helps in these slower periods on eBay. They're all going to be up and down depending on what the market's doing, and you really need to understand how to manage these up and down periods, because it is very easy to be investing way too much money into your stock and then get stuck with a huge bill that you need to pay, and then you have to fold your business. Next point I want to talk about is understanding a market and understanding what the market is doing at any given point in time. Especially as a fashion seller, brands come and go, styles come and go, and you need to be able to pivot to whatever the market is asking for. And a good way to do that is to use Terapeak or sales history on eBay. Look at what is selling currently in certain categories. You can go category specific, you can look at brand specific, you can filter by a range of prices, and you can even look at like how often things are selling. So look at how many items are listed, look how many of those items are sold, and then make a decision on whether that is an item that you want to be purchasing. We refer to this as like the sell-through rate on items on eBay, and it is a critical component of being a successful reseller. Now, you guys just heard me talking about Whatnot, and I wanted to let you know about a Whatnot show that is coming up this Friday with a huge amount of women's brand new with tags brands. $5 starts at sudden death. We'll be running a couple of these pallet breaks over the next few months, so make sure you come along. I'll even drop a $15 code in the description for new buyers. We will be hitting this platform pretty hard over the next few months. We've actually hired a photographer to take on some of our eBay business for us so we can really focus in on this. The biggest show that I can tell you about coming up is on the 31st of October, Halloween, at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We are doing free shipping and a massive amount of giveaways. So make sure you head over there, give us a follow, and we hope to see you in the next show. So I also promised you guys a little bit of a look into the future and what I think Australian reselling looks like over the next 6 to 12 months. I do think that eBay is going to continue to be the major winner for most of us in this space. It's probably 80% of the revenue coming through, but I do think spaces like Whatnot with live selling definitely have some huge upside. And I definitely recommend to looking into these other platforms and these other opportunities. Like I spoke about before, pivoting in this market is crucial. Reselling is always going to be around, but you need to follow the trends. You need to understand how the markets are changing, and being able to pivot and adjust to those markets is super crucial. I hope this video has given you guys some insight and some tips into how you can grow your eBay reselling business. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and we will see you next time on Aussie Thrifters. Bye for now.